Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here. And I don't know, I guess we got almost 6 months where we're past the halfway point after June 1st of 2020, but could it be any wilder? We've known the cancel culture has been out of control before, but usually it's in some kind of a manner which you're canceling Roseanne because she said or done something racist. Well, that's not the case with Live PD, is it? It's just the forbearance of having a television show that shows police in what I believe is a largely positive manner. And we're going to get into all of it and show you, guys, sometimes it's about the money. Sometimes it's not about the money. Sometimes it's about social engineering. And that's what's going on in society right now when they can take a top-rated television show, which is on cable, for God's sake. You know how hard it is to pull numbers and trend on cable if you're not sports? Do you understand how tough that is to do? And A&E, Arts and Entertainment Television, pulls the plug on Live PD, not because someone pointed to a racist action, but because of everything that's going on today. So before I get into it, before I show the story, and this is a shocker of a story, I want to remind everybody, the social engineers don't like me much either. I am fully demonetized on this platform without, any explanation whatsoever other than the fact that I am harmful content, and we are now up for review. And we'll see whatever becomes of that, if anything. But for now, I need your support. 5, 10, 15 bucks means the world to me. Make sure you thumbs this video up right now. You are subscribed to the Burmis Brigade. And remember, I am a documentary filmmaker. So you can check out Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture. Now, when I say that in most cases, the police officers that are portrayed in Live PD are portrayed in a positive manner, that doesn't mean every single time. That doesn't mean I agree with every single decision every single cop makes on Live PD. And sometimes I look to myself and I'm like, that guy's harassing him, or he didn't handle that situation in the right manner. There was a troll job done to Live PD because basically, there's 8 different areas throughout the country where they film. And somebody who was a jokester figured that they would basically make a bait car on the highway and ensure that they would pull him over. And when they did this, he had a stuffed Ellen DeGeneres. It was like a hay doll but it was really like clothes or something. Ellen DeGeneres, Jimmy Fallon, I forget who else. And the cops, and he cuts out, and he's in cut-off jean shorts and a fanny pack, and he keeps talking about living with his parents. And he sounds, a little incoherent and weird. So they take him in to drug test him. Wrong move. Should have never detained him in the first place. He never broke the law at all. And, again, he baited them. There are other instances on Live PD where I would go, hey, not the best move, cops. But overall, that's why we have police officers. Let me say it again. That's why we have police officers. And I have never been one of the anarchist types. I've always said there are good people and bad people in all professions. I've never been for the militarization of the police. I've always been pro-accountability. I've always said that police brutality is a very real issue. And if you were like me, you grew up, right? You grew up on what? Cops, right? But then with the advent of reality television and the ability to go live, and by the way, most of it's pre-taped. Rarely are they live on Live PD for various different reasons. But the truth is, again, for this to be canceled, this shows you how far the cancel culture has gone. A&E has pulled the plug on Live PD in the wake of ongoing protests against police brutality and concerns over coverage of police activity following the killing of George Floyd in Minnesota. Now, one could argue that somebody might be trying to make a name for themselves on one of these shows and target someone on live television, on Live PD. But again, I'm going to say it one more time. These are pretty much pre-taped and on delay no matter what, so they don't show you the most gruesome of gruesome. And in this cancel culture, we're not just happy with live PD, right? Other things are trending, and I'm not going to apologize. I don't like Ted Cruz. I think Ted Cruz is wrong on most things. There's a very rare occasion where I will give Ted Cruz a thumbs up, but I just retweeted Ted Cruz, and I'm not going to apologize. Okay? He said, here's a radical idea. Don't censor Gone with the Wind, also trending for cancel culture today. Don't censor Blazing Saddles. No. You know, I got to tell you, I've had the Blazing Saddles conversation several times over the last few months, even before these riots were ensuing, with my good friend Tino, who I see on a daily basis. And we're like, you could not make that movie today. And it's hilarious. Not only because it plays into all the stereotypes, but because it's blatantly an anti-race, race bait movie. It's anti-racism by pointing out all that racism. I know that's nuanced for some. And then also trending, oh, you betcha, Quentin Tarantino. Don't censor Quentin Tarantino. Don't censor anything. And, I don't like the memes or the edits, but I had to do this one, guys. I had to do it, so enjoy.
Did you notice a sign on the front of my house that said Dead African American Storage? Did you notice a sign in the front of my house that said Dead African American Storage? No. You know why you didn't see that sign? Because storing dead African Americans ain't my Rudy Toot-Tootin' business.
It's a good one. Ain't my Rudy Toot-Tootin' business. Seriously, guys, what have we become? Can't we understand that, number one, no matter what we do, we can't change the hearts of other people? We can always try to encourage them to look at the content of someone's character and not towards the color of their skin. We can hold them accountable for their actions. We can find ways to prosecute police officers that do abuse their situations, that are guilty of brutality. Believe me, I know there are some bad cops out there. That's the other thing. You see, unless the media pushes something as, this is happening and this is a real issue, most people don't even really get it. Let me give you a really nuanced perspective of entertainment kind of telling you how things really are in certain aspects of law enforcement. The Shield is a rebel. Everybody talks about The Wire. I know The Wire's a great show. HBO, great. FX did a show called The Shield, which shows you how quickly a small unit of individuals who are unaccountable, who become a gang unit, all right, essentially become a gang themselves and abuse their power. Now, people watched that show and loved it. It was an underground success, The Shield, right? Great show, can't recommend it enough. But they can't wrap their heads around the fact that that also happens outside of a television show. And not only just outside of a television show in, urban areas in Los Angeles and California, but in places like Kentucky and Louisiana, all right, and Missouri and Ohio. All those places have corruption as well. And when you put people in positions of power, unfortunately, the saying is true. Absolute power, unchecked power, corrupts absolutely. And the majority of people are going to start to abuse that power in one shape or another. That does not mean that all law enforcement is bad. That doesn't mean that we should defund the police. Should we get rid of the militarization? Yes. Should we hold people accountable? Yes. Should we not have a police force? That's ridiculous. Of course we need a police force. Should we be demonizing everybody in law enforcement? No. No, we should not. And should we have a cancel culture that now is taking down, again, one of the most successful television shows on cable, not because it's anything to do with race, but because the mob is outraged and they're worried about their PR. Maybe somebody else will pick it up. Maybe they won't. Dan Abrams is actually a very smart guy. He's in his mid-50s. He has a website, Law and Crime. He's a very interesting guy, and he's one of the more mainstream personas out there that I actually respect. So, Dan, I think this is a tragedy. It's ridiculous. Once again, guys, I want to remind you, fully demonetized on the platform. Trying to get out of the state. $5, $10, $15 means the world to me. We're already 10 days in. I need to start putting a little bit more work in, but we got to get that GoFundMe up over 1,000 hopefully by tonight, and then really roll with it tomorrow. Got videos coming up on IBM, facial recognition, and how they're stopping their facial recognition programs because they realize how dangerous it is. And even Amazon has tried to jump on that bandwagon today. So we're going to do that video maybe later tonight, but probably more likely tomorrow. Make sure to thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. Join the Burmese Brigade. Check out the documentary films, especially Shade the Motion Picture, guys. Really important film. And check me out over on Rockfin. There's a few exclusives over there right now. You can watch the JFK Jr. hoax one for free, and then you can watch 2 parts, an hour each, of the Meeting with the Minds, like Luke Radowski, Josh Sigurdson, Jay Dyer, Ben Swan, KG, Sam Tripoli, James Corbett, and so many others. So those are round 1 and 2, man. If you haven't seen those, that's a really interesting conversation with some of the big players in alt media. So, guys, I love you, and I'll see you on the flip.